The conclusion of Sukuna's story has finally arrived, and it's creating a lot of buzz among fans about his ultimate fate and the direction Jujutsu Kaisen is taking. In this video, we'll explore the recent developments, including the much-anticipated reunion of Yuji, Megumi, and Novara, the controversies surrounding Sukuna's end, and that surprising twist at the end. If you're a fan of Jujutsu Kaisen and want to stay updated with my future content, please give this video a like and leave a comment. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. To ensure you don't miss any of my reviews on the final chapters, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Let's dive in. In the latest chapter, we discovered that Yuta had used Yuji's finger to replicate Sukuna's curse technique, while Sukuna's actual finger was still being held by the jutsu sorcerer. Sukuna's fingers, being special-grade cursed objects, can endure both physical and sorcery attacks without damage. However, by using a binding vow to focus on penetrating the technique instead of trying to destroy the object, one can still gain an advantage from the finger. Enter Novara, who, despite being thought dead after the Shibuya incident and having lost her left eye, has recently awoken. She attaches Sukuna's finger to one of her dolls and utilizes resonance to directly assault Sukuna's soul, preventing him from activating his domain and making him more susceptible to Yuji's soul-splitting attack. Realizing he's received an assist from Novara, Yuji grins and launches a relentless assault with Dismantle, smashing Sukuna repeatedly. Despite Sukuna being clearly on the ropes, he doesn't surrender just yet and manages to mount a counterattack against Yuji. However, Yuji surprises Sukuna with his divergent fist attack and vows to eradicate the curse of Sukuna once and for all. Yuji then delivers a devastating black flash right to Sukuna's solar plexus. While the chapter concluded without an explicit confirmation of the fight's end, Sukuna's expression at the close was notably different. We've been misled into believing Sukuna was on the verge of defeat multiple times before, only for him to rebound and claim victory. But this time, with his expression as it was, it truly felt like things were different. Given that only 4 chapters remain, it's clear that the battle is indeed nearing its end, and Sukuna might finally be facing defeat. The new chapter opens with a dialogue between Sukuna and Megumi's souls. Sukuna senses that Megumi's soul is starting to resist him once more, and he tries to persuade Megumi to give up, arguing that he has nothing left to live for. Sukuna questions why Megumi continues to endure the pain of existence after Sukuna has taken everything from him. His body, his sister, and all his aspirations. He insists that Megumi should surrender, as his life can no longer be meaningful, and leave everything to Sukuna. However, Megumi wonders why Sukuna is so desperate. With only one fragment of Sukuna remaining, a single finger, if Sukuna were extracted from Megumi without immediately transferring to Yuji, he would lose his hold on the world and die. It becomes evident that even Sukuna, despite his power, is afraid of death. Megumi reflects on his life, admitting that he has always felt he was living wrongly and was close to giving up. Yet, seeing the tremendous effort of Yuji and the others in their fight against Sukuna, Megumi decides that he will try living for the sake of others just one more time. He resolves to fight back against Sukuna one final time. The scene then shifts back to the end of the previous chapter, where Yuji has just delivered a powerful black flash to Sukuna's upper abdomen. As Yuji's domain collapses, Sukuna's body and hair color begin to change, signaling that Megumi is regaining control over his body. Thanks to Yuji's efforts and the contributions of others, Megumi's body has been separated from Sukuna's soul. What remains of Sukuna resembles something out of Parasite, the Maxim. Fortunately, this grotesque blob soon diminishes in size and proves to be relatively harmless. Yuji approaches the blob, just screaming in despair, and gazes at it with a look of pity. This moment draws a clear parallel to Yuji's final encounter with Mahito, intensifying the emotional impact. Yuji asks Sukuna once more if he will accept the deal to free Megumi and return to Yuji's own body. However, Sukuna is in such a deteriorated state and seems to be on the verge of disintegration that it raises the question of whether Yuji even needs to go through with the deal. At this point, Sukuna looks utterly defeated, with little to no leverage left in their so-called negotiation. Despite this, Yuji remains true to his word and shows empathy towards Sukuna. He tells Sukuna, "You are me." They were both born with a curse, but their paths diverged based on chance. Thanks to his grandfather, Yuji developed a strong moral compass. Despite his superhuman abilities and his connection to the King of Curses through his father, Jin Itadori, Yuji did not become a monster like Sukuna. Yuji offers Sukuna one last chance, proposing to honor their deal not as a means of mutual destruction, but as a way to live and coexist together. Yuji asserts that even if no one else will accept Sukuna, he is the only one who can live with him, suggesting that Yuji is uniquely capable of controlling Sukuna. Yuji's optimism might be a bit misplaced here. Although he managed to control Sukuna for the most part, there were times when Sukuna seized control of Yuji's body with deadly results. If I were in Yuji's position, I wouldn't be so quick to offer my body as a vessel for Sukuna. That's just me. As Sukuna nears complete dissolution, he derides Yuji for his persistent foolishness. To Sukuna, Yuji's gestures of pity, compassion, and the offer of a deal are nothing but the height of absurdity. As the King of Curses, Sukuna's pride is too strong to accept Yuji's offer. He would rather face death than be saved from it by Yuji's pity and sympathy. Urong, who has been engaged in a fight with Hakari off-screen, confirms that it's truly over. Despite this, Urame reflects that the sorcerers were fortunate not to have faced Sukuna in his full, true form. Urame believes Sukuna would have been invincible if he had returned to his complete strength, and that the sorcerers only managed to win because they confronted Sukuna while he was still vulnerable and incomplete. Urame's tone is almost bitter, highlighting their unwavering loyalty to Sukuna, even now. Despite Sukuna's defeat and his reduction to a mere shadow of his former self, Urame chooses to remain by his side and defend his honor. Urame's steadfast commitment illustrates the depth of their loyalty, contrasting sharply with how most cursed spirits would act when their leader is vanquished. As Megumi takes a moment to absorb everything that has happened, he reflects on his newfound freedom from Sukuna's control, even though the experience has left lasting scars. He acknowledges how close he came to giving up, and recognizes that it was the support of his friends that gave him the strength to keep fighting. Megumi feels a deep sense of gratitude towards Yuji and the others, and he is determined to repay that debt by aiding in the reconstruction of the world none Sukuna tried to destroy. As the chapter draws to a close, Yuji, Megumi, and the rest of the group are shown gazing out over the horizon. The battle may be over, but their journey is far from finished. They are aware that numerous challenges still lie ahead, and that they must remain vigilant to protect the world from future dangers. For now, however, they take a moment to rest and reflect, knowing they've made significant progress towards a brighter future. The final panels feature a flashback to Yuji's grandfather's words, "You've got to live a life that you can be proud of." These words have guided Yuji throughout his journey, and they resonate more strongly than ever. Yuji feels that he has lived up to those words, and despite the hardships, he is proud of the person he has become. The chapter concludes with a sense of hope and resolution, as the characters prepare for what lies ahead. While the King of Curses has been defeated, the story is not yet over. There is still much to be done, and Yuji, Megumi, and their friends are ready to face the future together, whatever challenges may come. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support motivates me to create more content like this, and I can't wait to share more with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.